Good evening, everyone. I'm Cindy Anderson. I'm chair of the Alexandria City School Board, and I'd like to welcome you this evening as we dedicate the Jack Taylor College and Career Wing at T.C. Williams. To begin, I'd like to recognize some distinguished guests who are present and thank them. As we are already, some of you are standing. If you're not standing, you're going to have to stand up when I call your name, but otherwise, if you just wave your hand, raise your hand and be recognized. We have State Senator Adam Eben. Mayor Justin Wilson. Councilman Kenneth Aguirre and John Taylor Chapman. Is he here? I did better with the practice. Sorry, Kanik. Sorry, Kanik. I did better with my past practice. Councilwoman Amy Jackson. Councilwoman Del Pepper. And Councilman Mo Seifelden. Also Sheriff Dana Lawhorn. Thank you for your service and to our community and for supporting our schools. As you may be aware, school board dedications are rare in Alexandria, and I'd like to recognize not only our current school board members, but also the former board members here tonight who helped approve this honor. First, from the current board, we have Vice Chair Veronica Nolan. There she is. We have Megan Alderton. Jacinta Green. Margaret Lorber. Chris Suarez. And Heather Thornton. We also have former board members Bill Campbell, Ronnie Campbell, Hal Cardwell, and do we have Christopher Lewis? We have Chris Lewis? And Art Schmaltz. We have Art Schmaltz. I know Art Schmaltz, but I don't know if Chris Lewis is here. Well, yes, actually, there's another whole section for that. These were the former board members who were actually involved in this decision. So sorry, that was that category. There's another category that's coming. In addition, although they're not currently serving our city in an official capacity, there are some present this evening who have generously served our community in the past, and I'd like to recognize them as well. Congressman Jim Moran. Mayor Carrie Donnelly. Mayor Bill Ewell. Councilman Tim Levine. School Board Member Mark Eaton. And again, the Art Schmaltz. And then Superintendent Rebecca Perry. And finally, a special thank you to the JROTC cadets under the command of Colonel Geary. Finally, the reason why we're all here this evening, in addition to his friends and family members who are with us, please join me in welcoming Jack Taylor's special guests, his son, John Taylor, Michael Boylan, Scott Nyheisel, Alex Birchfield, Kelly Lyles, and Roseanne Larson from the Toyota Motor Corporation. And most definitely, last but not least, please join me in giving a very warm welcome to the man of the hour, Mr. Jack Taylor. And to everyone whom I did not officially recognize, family members, friends, and students, especially any Theogony students who got this all started in the first place, welcome to you all. Next, I'd like to welcome to the podium our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Gregory, I'm doing bad things to people's names tonight, sorry. Dr. Gregory C. Hutchings Jr. to say a few words.
Yes, thank you. So thank you, Madam Chair Anderson. So today is truly a wonderful day for all of us, and I want to first thank Mr. Taylor. Let's give him another round of applause. You know, he has been the star supporter of the Scholarship Fund of Alexandria since 1992. So we just want to thank him and honor him as we are tonight. I also want to thank our staff who worked so hard to make this happen this evening. We want to thank Beth Levain and the Scholarship Fund of Alexandria, who worked so hard for our students every single year. The value of the gifts that Mr. Taylor has contributed has exceeded more than $1 million. It's $1 million. That's equivalent to supporting an entire senior class in the past 25 years. That's pretty amazing. That is pretty amazing. The value, I'm sorry, I was about to repeat the same thing. The value of the gifts. Helen, I'm reading my script. You see, I don't like scripts here. But without the kind generosity and support that Mr. Taylor and his family has provided, many of our students cannot even begin to think of going to college, particularly at a time when the cost of going to college is sky high. Since 1986, the Scholarship Fund has awarded more than $16.5 million in scholarships and helped more than 4,750 Alexandria students realize their college dreams. That is a huge accomplishment, huge accomplishment. I have to say I know what that means because I was a recipient of the Alexandria Scholarship Fund in 1995. So I can tell you I know firsthand what the scholarship can do for you. It's an enormous help, I know, for me, or it was for me and my family when I went to college. More than 60% of families at T.C. Williams receive federal assistance for free and reduced price meals. And we know that scholarships from the Scholarship Fund often mean the difference between a student being able to afford college or not. Quite simply, the kind of donation we are here to acknowledge today makes dreams come true. And Mr. Taylor, you have made the dreams come true for many of our students to go off to college. So once again, I just want to say on behalf of our students in our community here, thank you, Mr. Jack Taylor, for your wonderful contribution to Alexandria City Public Schools. At this time, I would like to introduce our high school principal, Mr. Pete Ballas.
Thank you, Dr. Hutchings. I'd also like to give a special shout out to one of my mentors and somebody I look up to and who's made a great impact here at TC, Mr. John Porter, former principal. Here at TC, we are grateful to you, Dr. Hutchings, and the ACPS School Board for your continued support and for recognizing Jack Taylor in our newly enhanced College and Career Wing. We're extraordinarily grateful to Jack, John Taylor, and Jack Taylor's Alexandria Toyota for their generous and meaningful financial support for the past 25 years. You've made a difference in the lives of so many Titans. To enhance the space behind me, we convened a committee of ACPS staff, community members, and staff from Alexandria Toyota, Jack Taylor's Alexandria Toyota. I'd like to recognize those committee members as well as others who made today's events possible. Mr. John Taylor, Mark Eaton, Bob Trout, Kathy Puskar, Erica Grooms, my boss, Ms. Patty Moran, my former student, Mr. Andrew Mitchell, Priscilla Goodwin, John Finnegan, Teresa Leah, Mignon Anthony, Elizabeth Hoover, Beth Levain, and Jennifer Abersazy. Without them, this day would not be possible. Let's give them a round of applause. This group had the task of instilling Jack's vision in this wing in honor of all he has given over the years. And I'd like to tell you a bit more about what Jack wanted to see in this space. Jack was adamant that this was not about him. In the space behind me, behind these doors, you're not going to see murals of Jack, you're not going to see paintings of Jack, and you're not going to see statues of Jack. I'm sorry, Jack. Much to his surprise. But what you will see is what he wanted, a space that would be useful and beneficial to students. He wanted a warm and inviting space that could be welcoming to all students, specifically those who would be the first in their families to attend college, You'll see a newly enhanced space behind these doors that includes vibrant colors, new inviting lighting, the addition of collaborative student touch-base stations along the hallway where students will have the opportunity to work on applications for college and for scholarships, and they've already started doing that. And you'll see a way to convey critical information to students, which you'll see in the new flat-screen TVs from Tech Services. The Jack Taylor College and Career Wing has already generated a lot of excitement, and I can't wait for you to see it. Thank you, Jack, for your generosity, your dedication, your vision, and for always putting the Titans first. Thank you. And now, please join me in welcoming the board chair of the Scholarship Fund of Alexandria, Ms. Priscilla Goodwin.
Thank you, Pete. I want to echo gratitude for the school board for their leadership in recognizing Jack Taylor. He's truly an inspiration to us all, both in the success he's achieved through his life and his hard work in establishing and growing his business. But maybe even more importantly, in his dedication to serving this community, specifically his dedication to helping ensure that all Alexandria children can grow up and have the opportunity to attend college. As chair of the board, and before I go on, I would like to have all of the current board members who are here and previous Alexandria Scholarship Fund board members, please wave your hands. We have a number of board members here. They work really hard to number one, be good stewards of the money that our community invests, and number two, to raise more money, because every year we have a new crop and we want to raise as much money as we can. Currently, we are not serving all of the need, but we're doing a pretty good job. We raise at least $1 million a year. This is hard. It's only possible because we have a very generous community of the city of Alexandria and environs, and because of Jack Taylor. So it's really nice when you have to raise $1 million a year to know that you have, I think of it in two ways, two analogies. One, the foundation. I mean, we start out with the support of Jack Taylor. That gives us something to build on. The other way to think of it is our spine. He's our spine. He holds us up. We are a body that raises money for kids, and he is the one that we can hang all the other donations on. So his support, his money is our foundation, it's our spine, it keeps us going. I want to read one quote. In 2006, when Jack was a star in our 20th anniversary video, he said this: "As long as there's a child in Alexandria that wants to go to school and has the grades to go to school, but does not have the money, my company will always be a player." And he is a man of his word. Thank you very much. There aren't enough words, but I'm not going to keep trying to come up with more words so we can have some cookies and see the wing. But I would now like to introduce a student who will be graduating from TC this spring, thanks to a scholarship from Jack Taylor's Alexandria Toyota, and she will be attending Virginia Tech this fall, studying biology. Please welcome Classy Shepard.
Thank you, Ms. Goodwin. I am so grateful to be receiving the Helen Denny Scholarship. This scholarship was by Mr. Taylor to honor Helen Denny, who was his longtime childhood caregiver. She placed tremendous importance on the value of an education as well as the value of family. I am so very proud to be receiving this scholarship, which will help me afford my education this fall at Virginia Tech while I study biology. This scholarship fund and Mr. Taylor are really helping me, and more importantly, helping my family. Without this scholarship, I would not be able to afford going to Virginia Tech this fall. Thank you for believing in me. Now I have been asked to read the text of the plaque that you will now see soon displayed in the Jack Taylor College and Career Wing. It reads, "Dedicated to improving the educational outcomes of Alexandria City Public Schools students since 1992, Jack Taylor's generosity and commitment have generated numerous and substantial contributions to the Scholarship Fund of Alexandria through his business, Jack Taylor's Alexandria Toyota. Known as inspirational yet unassuming, Jack Taylor turned his success in business into a model for helping others to succeed. After serving in Vietnam, this earnest and energetic business owner and philanthropist started Alexandria Toyota in 1973, saying, 'I promised myself that if I ever had any success, I was going to help my community in some way.' Through hard work and dedication, he built a successful business and became a role model for meaningful corporate citizenship. His financial support, time and energy, and boundless efforts to engage others in giving have helped make college a realistic and affordable option for hundreds of students. His unflagging support of the Scholarship Fund of Alexandria, school PTAs, playground and stadium improvements, sports teams, and numerous other ACPS efforts is exemplary. His financial contributions have supported college scholarships for the equivalent of an entire senior class at T.C. Williams. The Alexandria City School Board hereby recognizes Jack Taylor's extensive and remarkable commitment to improving the lives of ACPS students by dedicating the Jack Taylor College and Career Wing at T.C. Williams High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Classy, and congratulations. Now I'd like to invite Mr. Jack Taylor to say a few words before we officially cut the ribbon. Oh, okay.
John, it's funny how a few years changes things. You got thrown out of here a few years ago. And I've certainly had a few of my, well, that wasn't exclusive to this school, son. I know, Jim, you never needed those.
You're off script.
Jim, they used everybody, and thank you all for the kind words and very accurate statements that you made. However, there was 90% of it was my speech, so I'm not sure what I'm going to say. One of the things I took out last night is my parents tried everything for me. I went to, let's see, 2 private schools, and then I ended up going to Fort Union Military Academy. Let me have that towel on. And I had to, the students here probably don't understand it, but I had to march to every meal. And that was a lot of fun. And then you go inside and they'd have the high-ranking cadets say blessing, and I knew one day they were going to have me say blessing, knowing that I didn't know a blessing, or at least that's what they thought. But I anticipated this. So I said something along the lines of, "Lord, we know all good and perfect gifts come down from thee. We are thankful. Help us to know that the blessings we receive are not to be held in selfishness, but to cherish and to develop and to share. May we exercise each one of these gifts to the good of our fellow men. Amen." Jim, when the economy goes south, and I'm concerned about that, you and I can maybe preach together. I'll collect the money and you do the talking. You know, they really did say, I was going to say something who got me involved in the scholarship fund. And it was several. It was Stephanie Clayton and Kathy Puskar were the two people that came to see me. And you know, I saw it as an opportunity to be girls. So what are you shaking your head for? I mean, we all have records. Everybody's done my script. And Kathy got a little upset with me a few years ago when I was speaking before 700 people, and I said, "You know, Kathy Puskar is a test pilot for a broom factory," and that's probably not appropriate to say in these times. But you know, people asked me if I was remorseful about it, and I really wasn't. I got to find that in my script. I think, Kathy, you know, if you have Kathy behind you, or if she's working on something you're working on, get out of her way, because she's back there. I thought she was walking up here.
Yeah, come on up.
What's up over here? Come on, get back to the script.
Okay.
Okay, you already, oh,
I was going to do that, Kathy. I had down to thank Bob Trout and Mark Eaton. I like those guys, so I wanted to be sure to thank them. The rest of you have been thanked 4 times today, so I'm going to skip that. Here. Kathy Puskar, you get almost a whole card. Donnie Simpson, and to be serious for a second, Donnie, if there's anything that has to do with sport, Donnie and I were on the same softball team. He was the fastest guy on the team, and I was the slowest. But it didn't make any difference how fast he was, because he never got a hit. He was horrible. Nice boy, but can't hit worth a damn. But if there's anything that had to do with sports, I don't mean lights. I meant something else.
you meant that.
Oh, okay. I mean lights. You're so special. Thanks for being. So, what else? Anything sports? We just did a basketball court in the Bullets' and Wizards' colors down in how would you describe that area that
Potomac
you
Yard.
destroyed?
Potomac Yard.
I just can't help it. Down at Potomac Yards, and that's how I met. I mean, I met Bill Ewell playing basketball. And anybody who's played basketball, let me ask you something. Did Bill Ewell have the ugliest hook shot you ever saw? Seriously. I mean, it was so ugly, make a train take a dirt road.
That's not on the script.
Well, Kathy, you were page 2, and you're pretty much done. Oh, I did have one thing. You know, Kathy, she came to me, and she said, "We're going to have a valedictorian award, and if you think you ever have a chance of winning a valedictorian, you better give to this, because this is the only way you're ever going to be able to become a valedictorian is to buy it." And of course, he was right. And so that's why we started giving a new car every year. And 12 cars later, we're still buying it. And also, the Pulitzer, Kathy next year wants to sell a Pulitzer Prize. I heard. And not because she thinks she can sell it, she just wants to see how stupid I am. I'll get done with this quick. I bought
It
it.
was a
didn't I?
sponsorship level that we created for him.
You know how that works. Oh, I had the old Bud Hart story. I'm about to get, this is the close, and some people use the exact sentences I used that I have in my notes. And it's funny, if people often ask me why we give to who we give, and how do you figure out how much you're going to give, and I told Bud one day, I said, well, Bud, maybe I'm trying to buy my way into heaven. He said, Jack, you better give it a lot more. There's different rules for your car dealers. And there are. I'm somewhat embarrassed. But, these awards, and people like me often get these accolades, and it's very nice, and I'm very appreciative. But, there's the people in this town that do volunteer work daily and don't get credit. And Gail Reuter, I can think of, Patty Moran, I can think of, they're both here. But there's a bunch of you guys in this room that have done that. And those are the people that we ought to be recognizing. It's sometimes easier to write a check. You're doing that now, too. Now you got a good job, right? He's going to beat the hell out of me. I love you. I love you, Jim.
I love you, Jack.
I don't know if this statistic was used, but 85 to 90% of scholarship fund recipients go to graduate for college. That to me is amazing. I mean, this is a one-town. We have one high school in this town, and people don't. I mean, Denzel Washington did a movie, playing Herman Boone, which would have been worse if Herbert Boone had played Denzel Washington. But I mean, we're such a unique place, and I'm glad to be working and living here. I got some of the exact same sentences. And here's one. I was going to say something. Is this unusual? As long as there's a child in Alexandria that wants to go to college but can't go to college for financial reasons, I'm a player. That's been said already. Yeah, but Jim, I just wasn't ready for that. I'm not, I don't do this regularly. And the last, I had one last thing. The Ogden newspaper did a article on me, but they also did it on John Lewis. But thanks to Mark and Mr. Trout, I ended up on the front page of the school newspaper. And it looks like I'm a great civil rights person. And so I've been telling my friends I was. Martin and I and John went coffee yesterday morning. It was great. So whoever's responsible for this, thank you. I want a picture of you and me too, Jim. I put it with the other 972. So whoever's responsible for this, thank you.
Do you want to do that?
What's that?
That one.
Oh, yeah. I got really nothing else to say other than what people remember me for. And Gail Reuter had something to do with this. I got called. I won an award 20 years ago or plus. And she called me and says, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm at work." She said, "Didn't you remember this?" And I said, "Uh-oh." And I got up and I didn't know what to say. And I said, finally, I told a story about a guy that I was trying to get money out of, and he wouldn't give me any. And he finally told me this story about he'd given as much money as he could to charity this year, come back and see it next year. And I said to him, I said, you know, sir, there ain't no luggage rack on a hearse. And I'm going to get hats for everybody that says that. But he gave me some money. You really can't take it with you. So I'm going to be here for TC as long as I can. I think John's already John knew every person who was running for city council, both the Republicans too. And every one of them, and I was shocked. So with Kathy's guidance, I'm sure John will do a lot of nice things for T.C. Williams. So with that, thank you all so much. I am so appreciative.
You were too harsh.
Thanks. Thank you. The reason why I'm carrying this towel around, I have Parkinson's, and I want you to know that you're not my only family. I raised $800,000 for Parkinson's in the last 2 years. Michael J. Fox Foundation. Where I had dinner with them in New York last week, and they said, I sat at my table and being the jerk that I can be, I said, where's Michael J.? If he's not sitting with me, I'm leaving. And he was right behind me. And I felt like such an idiot. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jack. In a moment, I'm going to invite Jack and his family to cut the ribbon. Once that happens, I invite you all to walk through the newly dedicated wing to see the plaque that honors him, albeit this is a temporary plaque. The permanent bronze relief plaque is still being fabricated. We want you to see the improvements to the hallway that Principal Ballas described earlier, and finally join us for desserts at the end of the hall. In addition, I'd like to thank everyone again for coming and for making this such a special evening. Now, on behalf of the Alexandria City School Board, I am so pleased to officially dedicate the Jack Taylor College and Career Wing at T.C. Williams High School. So Jack, please gather your family, and once everyone's in position, we'll count down from 5. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay!